What's going on, everybody? It's Brendan. Welcome back to Dad Planet. You'll see why I'm laughing here in a second. So just yesterday, not only did I go to a bunch of garage sales, and you will see that footage here in a future video, but I went to a thrift store, and I don't normally source on weekends. So I want to take you through the store with me because I found an amazing amount of stuff in a store at a time that usually doesn't have all of that kind of going on. It's just one of the stores that gets really picked through, especially on weekends. But even before we go into that, I have to show you this. Every now and then when we go to Walmart, my daughters and I will pick up Pokemon cards, and we just pulled one of the craziest cards that you'll find in the Vivid Voltage set. I have it right here. It is the Rainbow Pikachu VMAX. Now, I don't know what the current values of these cards are when they're graded 9s or 10s, but I'm sure to send this into PSA. I haven't even looked at the back of the card, but that is so crazy, just our luck. But anyway, I'm excited to show you all of the things that we have in this thrift store stop coming up here. So Clara, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Say hello. Are you coming over?
Yeah. Hello.
There she is. Anyway, stay tuned. The store that I'm currently in is the busiest store in terms of foot traffic, and it generates the most revenue on a monthly basis in the city that I live in. I've confirmed this both with the area manager, who I speak to often, and then the store manager, who is newer to this location, but I've seen her in other locations too. So it's very busy and very dangerous to come at this time of day, especially on a weekend, because it just gets crazy in this store. But I had to drop my child off at swim practice, and so we are here doing some thrifting. So shoes first. This is a great pair of Rikas. I actually passed these up, and I kind of regret it because they were super light. I think they could have shipped first class, but those were in really nice condition. I think that brand is okay for resale, but I passed on them because these caught my eye. So this is a pair of Asics Gel Noosa Tri 9s. Swim, bike, run. The style number is T458N. Now there's a lot of these listed. There's like 300 listed, but I have a size 9. The soles look great. The exterior looks pretty good, and I'm pretty confident that I can get $30 for these. This color is a little bit harder to sell than some of the other multicolor styles, but I still think I can get $30 for that pair of shoes. So right away, even though I put the Rikas back, I like the pair that I have. Next pair, another pair of Asics. This is a pair of Gel Kayano 28s. This is the most recent Gel Kayano, so that is always a plus. It's a women's size 10.5, but they were in really nice condition too. So insoles were great, and there's a recent comp for a size 10.5 with these, with which these are for $99. Now, I don't think I can get that much for it, but I think maybe between $30 and $35 would be fair. Then I came up on this. So this is a Babolat tennis racket. Obviously, it is a Pure Drive GT. The comps on these are absolutely fabulous. So this was a great find. It's black, and it comes with the case there. So you can see it had I went pretty quickly. It was $4.99 for it. So that racket with the case, that is a minimum $100. I mean, you can feel it. It just it looks spectacular, in really good condition. I think it's from maybe 2012, but that's a $100 minimum racket right there. So that is just an amazing find. We're going to talk about what's in that box there in just a second, but I'm going to check over the toys in this location. For whatever reason, like the last couple of months, the toys have been really weak. I just haven't been able to find anything that has been awesome for resale. So it's kind of a disappointment because toys are so easy to sell. But I'm looking at the games, and actually, like towards the top, there's a puzzle. It's a Disney puzzle. I don't know if you guys can see that. It was sealed. It was vintage style, but they wanted $5 for it, and I saw a couple of sold comps for brand new for like $18, so I just passed on that. This here, $13. It looks like maybe a little Woodsy's house. It looks really nice, and I didn't look it up. It could be a bolo, but I'm like getting pressed for space in my house, so I passed on that. I didn't really want to deal with that, but this box here was on a cart rolling out, and one of the strategies in a busy store like this on weekends is just hit the carts if you can. And so that's what I did. So I pulled this out here. It is a Technovorm Mocha Master. The model number on this is KBG, and it looks really great. And you'll see, like, I've never really seen one of these before, and so I'm trying to piece it together and make sure all the parts are there. Even if this thing doesn't work, the part out value makes it worth what I paid for it, which is you'll see that here in a second. It's on the box. but I'm just trying to put it all together. At a minimum, I think if this thing is in working condition fully, I can get $150 per. Comps are like 150 all the way up to 200, even with the original box. Sometimes you get more than $200 for this, but this was an insane find, and I've never sold them before, so I'm kind of anxious to play with it at home and get the thing rocking and rolling. But it does have all of the parts. I've like confirmed that after the fact. And there's like a little bit of, I don't know what this is, like lime buildup. I'm not really sure. We'll play with it. But again, with the part value, I am not concerned with that at all, because this is a really fantastic bolo. And it was fairly cheap. So everything looks like it's in decent condition. And yeah, it was only $6. So that was a fantastic find as well. I'm going to put that thing back in the box. This store has a bunch of shoe locations. They have like 5 shoe locations. I don't know, it's kind of weird. They're spread out all over the place. But this pair of shoes caught my eye because, they're kind of loud and funky. And it's a brand I've never sold before. So it's La Sportiva. And soles look like they're in really nice condition. The style on this is Bushido 2. You'll see the tag. I'll pull that out there in just a second. There you go. They are women's size 7.5. And the insoles on these looked fantastic. The soles were in great shape. Interesting colorway, but I'm pretty confident that I can get $50 for these. The comps are really high for this, and the list to sell ratio right now for this style is 35 to 35. So 35 currently listed, and 35 have sold in the last 90 days. So I'm putting those in my cart. I think $50 is fair for that, and we're doing really, really well the amount of time I spent in this store here. The pair of, I think these are City Sneaks. Yes, they have no value to me. I couldn't really find a ton of comps that were consistent enough. I thought this was a pair of Merrells. It was not, so I passed on those as well. So one of the things you'll learn if you come sourcing in Columbus, Ohio, is that at 2:30 or so, the sun might be out, and at 2:35, you will get a rain shower. And so that's kind of how the weather has been lately here the last couple of weekends, but we're going to check out some media. And again, this is a media location. Doesn't really restock that quickly. So a lot of this stuff has just been sitting for months, and I'm getting kind of anxious, for them to pull it, because I would like to check out some new media, but nothing there of value. And here's a place that I kind of skip over often. Like, I used to look for bags more, but I really just don't. So I'm just filming this more so for you folks in the event there's something here that I missed that you might catch. But a couple of years ago, I actually pulled an authentic Burberry purse out of here, and I sold that on Poshmark for $150. But they have 2 locations. They've got like a backpack location on the other end of the store, and then this is where they hang their bags and mostly purses. But I don't see anything here that I think has value. But again, I don't really know these brands all that well, or bags all that well, so just you never know. But found these rolling out on a cart. This is a pair of Brooks Glycerin 12s. Now, this is a really unique ombre style shoe with the blue and the orange. Everything I touch that's orange seems to sell for whatever reason. I don't know what that's about. They need to be washed, but there are no sold comps for that particular style. But I still think I can get probably 35 for them. I have a couple of rackets in my cart there, but I ended up putting those back. And then I ended up pulling off of another cart this, whoa, almost dropped that, sorry. KitchenAid attachments. I've sold a lot of these lately, but this one is an interesting one because it's cold brew, and so with summer coming up, like, this is a great find to pick up. So I think because that is new in the box, I can get $60 for that attachment. So all in all, minus the 2 tennis rackets that are going to go back, I think I did really well in the amount of time I spent here. Total listed value is going to end up being $455, and I only spent 45 minutes in the store. So we're going to brave the conditions and head home. Out of that store we were just in, I recently sourced a bunch of beer tap handles. I'm trying to see if there's okay, so I paid $17 for this entire box, but I've already sold through, I think, like between $100 and $150 of beer tap handles. That is a serious bolo. Please keep your eye out for things of this nature. These are the ones that I have listed. I've already sold probably 6 or 7. And then these are the ones I have yet to list. But, if you're out doing the flea market, garage sale circuit, or even in the thrift stores, and you see ones that are orb shaped, ball shaped, that are gold, I'll put the comp up on the screen. They're made of Bakelite, and $1,500 a pop you would get for those really old, very vintage beer tap handles. But all of these, even, I have this Bud Light one listed for 30. I don't remember what they're all listed for. This is a local one, so I got $12 on it. This Bud Light one I have listed for 25. This is Leinenkugel. This stuff really adds up. So at 17 bucks, this was a pretty good deal. And even this one, this Yingling one with a little bit, it's got a little bit of damage here. I probably still get between $10 and $15 for them. They're very easy to photograph, very easy to store, very simple to list. You'll find comps on basically most of them because their sell-through rate is very good. But anyway, keep your eye out for that. Just one more bolo for you to be on the lookout for when you're out doing your sourcing. In an upcoming video, the 4 shoes that you just saw, we're gonna list them together. So I thought I would give you a bird's eye view on how I list shoes. So for those of you that might not be big shoe sellers, or you're apprehensive for whatever reason, it will hopefully just give you one other reseller's perspective on how I handle every shoe listing that I do. So we'll go over titles, we'll go through descriptions, I'll tell you the item specifics that I like to have in my listings, ones that I don't think are necessary, and more importantly, how I price every single pair of shoes, because it's a little bit more of a science when it comes to me listing and selling shoes. So not only that, I'm gonna take this pair, which looks totally destroyed, and turn it into this pair. And we are going to list that pair of shoes as well. But I'm gonna show you how I cleaned them, and it was actually very easy, much easier than it probably looks under the surface. So stay tuned for that. And housekeeping, of course, hit that like button if you liked what you saw or you learned something today. And then always consider becoming a member of the Dad Planet family by subscribing and hitting the bell notifications so that you know every single time I upload a video to YouTube. But that is it for today. That's all I have for you. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next video.